Every new live-action Star Trek show and movie on Paramount Plus is a Discovery spin-off. Star Trek is scaling down on Paramount Plus, but all 3 scheduled live-action TV series and movies are spin-offs of Star Trek Discovery. Recently ending after 5 seasons, Star Trek Discovery reignited the Star Trek TV franchise after 12 years. In 2017 and 2018, Discovery's success served as a cornerstone of the fledgling CBS All-Access streaming service, which later became Paramount Plus. Thanks to Discovery, a new era of Star Trek streaming series began. Star Trek on Paramount Plus, overseen by Alex Kurtzman, achieved an amazing apex in 2022, with a new episode of 5 different Star Trek series streaming almost every Thursday of the year on Paramount Plus. Patrick Stewart was coaxed back to the franchise to headline 3 seasons of Star Trek Picard. Star Trek also embraced animation for the first time since the 1970s, with Star Trek Lower Decks, the franchise's first half-hour comedy, and Star Trek Prodigy, a CGI all-ages animated series designed to bring new young viewers to Star Trek. Arguably the most popular current Star Trek series, Star Trek Strange New Worlds, also launched in 2022. In the next 2 years, the live-action Star Trek shows and movie on Paramount Plus will carry on Star Trek Discovery's legacy. Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Star Trek Section 31, and Star Trek Starfleet Academy are all live-action spin-offs of Star Trek Discovery, Star Trek's first feature film made for streaming on Paramount Plus. Star Trek Section 31 was originally planned as an ongoing series starring Academy Award winner Michelle Yeoh reprising her Star Trek Discovery anti-heroine, Emperor Philippa Georgiou. The COVID-19 pandemic and other factors shifted Section 31 from a series to a movie, which premieres in 2025 on Paramount Plus. The popularity of Captain Christopher Pike, Anson Mount, L.T. Spock, Ethan Peck, and Number 1, Rebecca Romijn, in Star Trek Discovery Season 2 directly led to a spin-off, Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Now considered Paramount Plus as flagship Star Trek series, Strange New Worlds Season 3 will premiere in 2025 on Paramount Plus, with Season 4 already in pre-production. Star Trek Starfleet Academy, which has executive producer Alex Kurtzman as co-showrunner, is also a direct spin-off of Star Trek Discovery Seasons 4 and 5, continuing Disco's 32nd century era. The changing nature of streaming and the pending sale of Paramount has made casualties of Star Trek's animated series, Star Trek Lower Decks and Star Trek Prodigy. Paramount Plus abruptly canceled Star Trek Prodigy in 2023, purging the show from its service. But Star Trek Prodigy's rabid fanbase responded and helped secure Netflix as Star Trek Prodigy's new streaming home. Following the premiere of Star Trek Prodigy Season 2, however, Netflix has yet to exercise its option to order more Prodigy. Star Trek Lower Decks also ends its run on Paramount Plus with Season 5. However, there are hopes Lower Decks can continue on another streaming service like Star Trek Prodigy. Unfortunately, without new Lower Decks or Prodigy ordered, 2024 marks the end of animated Star Trek for the foreseeable future. This is especially disappointing considering Lower Decks and Prodigy have delivered some of the most insightful, innovative, and crowd-pleasing Star Trek of the modern era. Unfortunately, neither Lower Decks nor Prodigy are live-action or direct spin-offs of Star Trek Discovery, which is what Paramount Plus is banking Star Trek's next few years on. The Star Trek universe has always been known for its rich legacy of exploration, science fiction, and bold storytelling. With the advent of streaming platforms like Paramount Plus, the franchise has found new life, offering a wide array of shows and movies that appeal to both veteran fans and new viewers. One of the most striking developments in recent years is how many of these new live-action Star Trek projects trace their origins back to one pivotal series, Star Trek Discovery. Since its debut in 2017, Discovery has become the foundation of a new generation of Star Trek content, acting as the springboard for multiple spin-offs and cinematic ventures. This interconnected web of stories has shaped Star Trek on Paramount Plus in significant ways, effectively making Discovery the nucleus of the modern Star Trek universe. Star Trek Discovery, the catalyst when Star Trek Discovery premiered, it marked the first new Star Trek series in over a decade, and it was a bold departure from previous iterations. Set roughly a decade before the events of the original Star Trek series, Discovery embraced a more serialized format, focusing on intricate character arcs, complex political tensions, and moral dilemmas rather than episodic adventures. Its success reinvigorated the franchise, proving that Star Trek could thrive in the new age of streaming. But beyond its narrative achievements, Discovery established a creative and thematic framework that has inspired multiple spin-offs. One of Discovery's key achievements was its willingness to explore previously unseen corners of the Star Trek universe, as well as its readiness to embrace the larger canon of the franchise while forging its own path. This dual commitment to both innovation and legacy is what made Discovery a perfect foundation for the future Star Trek series that followed. It introduced a new generation of characters, ships, and storylines that have since been expanded in other shows and movies, creating a cohesive shared universe on Paramount+. Star Trek: Strange New Worlds, an organic expansion. Perhaps the most direct spin-off of Discovery is Star Trek: Strange New Worlds, which focuses on Captain Christopher Pike and his crew aboard the U.S. Enterprise. Pike, played by Anson Mount, first appeared in Discovery's second season, and his portrayal was so well received that it spurred demand for a standalone series. Strange New Worlds goes back to the classic Star Trek format of episodic storytelling, while still retaining the visual style and character depth of Discovery. In many ways, Strange New Worlds represents the perfect blend of old and new Star Trek. It takes place just a few years before the events of the original Star Trek series, featuring familiar characters like Spock, Ethan Peck, and Number 1, Rebecca Romijn, while also introducing new members of Pike's crew. The show benefits from Discovery's production values, complex character development, and broader world building. However, its storytelling format harkens back to the episodic adventures that defined the original series, providing a sense of nostalgia for longtime fans while being accessible to newcomers. Star Trek: Section 31, a darker spin on Discovery's legacy. Another highly anticipated project stemming from Discovery is the upcoming Star Trek: Section 31, a series that will dive deep into the covert operations of Starfleet's Black Ops division. Section 31 was first introduced in Deep Space Nine, but a network error occurred. Please check your connection and try again. If this issue persists, please contact us through our help center at help.openeye.com. In many ways, Strange New Worlds represents the perfect blend of old and new Star Trek. It takes place just a few years before the events of the original Star Trek series, featuring familiar characters like Spock, Ethan Peck, and Number 1, Rebecca Romijn, while also introducing new members of Pike's crew. The show benefits from Discovery's production values, complex character development, and broader world building. However, its storytelling format harkens back to the episodic adventures that defined the original series, providing a sense of nostalgia for longtime fans while being accessible to newcomers. Star Trek: Section 31, a darker spin on Discovery's legacy. Another highly anticipated project stemming from Discovery is the upcoming Star Trek: Section 31, a series that will dive deep into the covert operations of Starfleet's Black Ops division. Section 31 was first introduced in Deep Space Nine, but network error occurred. Please check your connection and try again. If this issue persists, please contact us through our help center at help.openeye.com. In many ways, Strange New Worlds represents the perfect blend of old and new Star Trek. It takes place just a few years before the events of the original Star Trek series, featuring familiar characters like Spock, Ethan Peck, and Number 1, Rebecca Romijn, while also introducing new members of Pike's crew. The show benefits from Discovery's production values, complex character development, and broader world building. However, its storytelling format harkens back to the episodic